this was the big shrub job we had today. We literally touched everything around the whole property. I'll show you the front here. And we're not done yet. We are finalizing it. I went ahead and mowed already, but Busy Bee's just blowing everything out of the beds as much as possible. We still got quite a bit through there, but anyway, what I am going to show you, and I will record, this whole front yard was so much clippings from all these shrubs. So much clippings. Probably twice as much as what's about to be back here, because that's what Busy Bee's doing. He's pushing everything to the center of the yard. And what I really want to show you is how well this Spartan mulches with the shoot blocker. It is absolutely phenomenal. So you see a big mess. I'm just kind of waiting, taking a little break while all he's got left is through here and that area down there. And it's humid as heck, ninjas. Humid as heck. Cleaned up pretty nice. That Spartan does a really good job when it comes to that mulching. There was a lot of clippings this time. I don't remember it being like this last time, but I think a lot of it we picked up last time, didn't we? In the trash can. We didn't bring a trash can with us today, ninjas. We forgot. Thank you. Look at Busy Bee. He's already pooped for today. Look, look. Ninja, we still got like 20 yards to go. Good morning, ninjas. Good morning, good morning. We are back to attack on another day, and I'm just waiting for Busy Bee to show up. As you can see, I'm using my little DeWalt compressor, battery powered, touching up on some air. I actually have been using this thing pretty much every morning just because I haven't had time, but this tire has a screw in it that we just discovered. There it is right there, actually. So I just haven't had time. I need to stop. I need to plug that, and I need to stop and also at the tire shop and replace my spare, and I'll show you here in a second. And I want to say this one, I haven't seen a nail or a screw, but I think it also is leaking some air. Let's double check. So I keep my tires around 45. My trailer tires at least, and you can see that one's reading 39.6. So I'm gonna check that one too. But we went ahead and replaced the spare about a week or two ago, and I mean, this one could still be used as a emergency, but I need to go ahead and just get that replaced. All right, so we're good there now. Now, one thing with these, if you're holding it, putting it in a toolbox or wherever you put it, always take the battery out. I'm speaking from experience here. If you leave the battery in and you throw this in here, this button can get squeezed, pressed in here, and next thing you know, this thing gets pressed and it turns on and it's running. And I was like, what the heck? I thought Tiny was making all kind of weird noises until I found out what it is. So just take the battery out. Good morning. Hope all you ninjas are doing good this morning. So yesterday, as you guys saw, I only got the chance to record a little bit over there at that shrub job that we did right as we were finishing, and did not get a chance to do anything else because we ended up hauling tail. We worked really late. I don't think I got home till like 8:39. Because they're calling for the storms that are coming. They're calling for some rain later today. So we were trying to finish as much as possible. And we ended up doing like 14 yards yesterday on top of that shrub job, which by the time, it took us about an hour and a half to trim everything, right when I was showing you. But then by the time we've cleaned up, blew off, mulched everything up, it was probably a 3-hour job, honestly, ninjas. So 14 yards with 3 hours worth of a Shrub job, we were beat. And let me tell you, ninjas, the humidity has been so unbearable, at least yesterday. And it's always like that right before a storm comes through of any kind. So hopefully that won't be the case today as bad. We'll just have to see. And I don't think we'll be able to work all day. I think 1 or 2 o'clock at most, at least from what they're saying, right? As of right now. So, but that's that. That's why I didn't have a video last night. We're having one today. And Freaky Friday, right? We'll see how this turns out. Freaky Friday. So we got I had 25 yards. And so we got about 11 or 12. I think I added one more, so 11 or 12 for today. If we can get all of them, great. If not, then if we don't end up working tomorrow because of the rain, then we might have to work Sunday if we get if we get a day off tomorrow. We'll see. We'll just have to play it by ear. But I just wanted to start the video, say good morning. I'm just waiting on Busy Bee. He should be here any second, and we're gonna get started and try to get as many as we can. I'm waiting on Busy Bee. He should be here by now. Just finished this up. Busy Bee's finishing up with the weed eating. We got to blow everything off and we're done with these 2 houses, the one across the street. But I wanted to take a minute to talk to you ninjas about mowers and choice of engines that you have and why I went with the engines that I did and continue to use. I have been running the EFI 37 Vanguard engines here for a while. I have them on different mowers. I've got them on the sgninjas mower. I got the Bumblebee. I wanted the same engine on the Spartan right here, and even on the Ferris Z3X it's the same engine. The only difference is the Spartan's got the Vanguard oil guard system, and you don't have to change the oil 500 hours on that. That's actually pretty cool. So that's something I'm going to look into in my future mowers as I continue to update and upgrade. But anyway, I have ran Kawasaki's for many years, and they were all carbureted engines. Once I got to the point I was getting ready to update and upgrade and trade in and get new mowers, I finally started to look into these. So I'm going to tell you ninjas why I would recommend the EFI 37 or anything to that degree more power than some of those others, because I think my Hustlers were like a 27 horse Kawasaki's. So here's the thing. The year's not over just yet, right? We have a few more months to go, at least in my area. But mowing is starting to wind down, or it's going to here pretty soon. And I have been keeping an eye on my fuel costs now for this whole season. I even did it last season. And what I have come to find out at the end of the year, when I do all my paperwork and all my receipts and tally up everything, is my fuel cost has gone down tremendously overall throughout the whole year. And the reason that is, the EFIs are very good at not using as much fuel as the carbureted engines are. Also, why should you always go, in my opinion, with the most strongest engine that maybe is in the market, whether it's that particular brand, whatever brand that you may be using? Well, here's why, ninjas. Whenever you are using a engine that is a lot weaker, let's say 27 horse, right, or 22 or 25, it's not only a good thing to have a more powerful engine on you, because I mean, gosh, you never know, right? You might get a job. I know you probably can't see, but like right over there, I mean, that thing is knee high. you might get a job, ninjas, that is super overgrown, crazy tall, and you want to have the engine and the mower that can handle that. Now, you're probably telling yourself, my 25 horsepower carbureted engine could probably handle that too. Yeah, it probably could. But the problem is, ninjas, is you are putting a max strain on that engine when you are battling stuff like that. The whole point of your engine lasting longest, in my opinion, this is, again, just from what I've experienced over the course of the last couple of years as I've changed a lot of things, especially in the engine choice, is I always want to have more powerful engine than what I may need on a daily basis, because you don't come around on some overgrown stuff all the time, right? It may just happen from time to time. But just because I'm mowing a nice field that's not really that tall, that I really don't need the 37 horse, I still want the 37 horse because I'm not using the full capacity strain that engine can throw out. Well, what does that mean? Well, it really means that you're going to have an engine that's going to last you a little longer, right? Because you're not stretching it completely to the max capacity that it can. Now keep in mind, a lot of these engines, I don't keep mowers, you guys know that, a lot of you know that at least. I don't keep mowers for too long. I end up trading mowers in or selling them. I've sold some in the past, and I've traded quite a bit in the past. So and the reason for that is I don't really wait around till the mower starts to give me problems. I don't really wait around till it starts to break down. I have to replace the engine or something like that. I end up trading it in while it's still of some value. So usually around 300, 500, 600 hours, give or take, is what I will put on a unit in about a year or two, sometimes 2.5. And that may not seem a lot, but you have to keep in mind, I rotate. I have several mowers and I rotate between the mowers. So that is a lot when you're thinking about, like, I'm using multiple mowers. Now, if I just had one main mower and all the yards that I have, I'd probably have 500-600 hours in a season. But that's not the case. So a lot of yards I'll use the Spartan now that I have it. A lot of yards I use the Bumblebee. In the past, I've used the sgninjas mower. Last year, I used the sgninjas mower as my main mower for that whole season. And the only reason I'm not using it right now is, I'm just cutting back on the hours. I want to save the hours because that is one mower that I am keeping. I'm not trading that in, or I'm not selling it or anything like that. Now, the only other mower that I still have that is carbureted, our carb engine, is the Z1 Ferris right here. And again, it is a Briggs, but it's the 23 horse Vanguard Z1. And that thing is still practically brand new. I only use it a couple times a week here and there when I need it. I have some yards that I've had for numerous of years, and I don't want to let them go, and I need a 36. So I don't really use a 36 a whole lot. I think that it's ready for an oil change. I didn't get a chance to do one just yet, but we don't use it a whole lot, so it's not really 100% like urgent, but I need to go ahead and get it out the way. But anyway, that's the only one that's carb. The rest are EFI. So if you are in the market for a new mower, I don't care what brand, if you're in the market for a new mower, really think about it, why you should go with an EFI compared to a carb engine. You're going to save some fuel and longevity to get the biggest, baddest, horsepower that's out there. Longevity. The whole point is you want this mower to last you, because some of you may not be doing the things that I do with my business. Some of you might buy a mower and you want to keep it for 5, 6, 7 years, which is kind of what I did with the Hustlers when I had them. Those Kawasaki engines, they never let me down. They did perfectly fine, but man, were they wore out by the time I ended up selling them and trading them in. And but I was not in the position at that point to be trading mowers. But I told myself from the very beginning, I know it's pretty windy out here, ninjas, that if I ever get to that point, that I will trade mowers in. I like mowers to be under warranty, which is also something that I prefer, because it makes me that much more reliable to my customers. And I can count on it and depend on it. And if something ever happens, all I need to do is take it to the dealership, call up the dealer, and it'll get resolved. Most engines, as long as you maintain them, I've never really kept the mower this long, but as long as you maintain them, you take care of the maintenance aspect of things, they will most likely last you 1,500 to 2,000 hours, give or take, okay? I had a customer, so here's a long story short, just because it's related to this about being dependable. I had a customer fire their old lawn care guy and hired me. This was a few years back. And I actually talked to this guy. He mowed the yard right next to mine. And we've stopped a few times and chit-chatted. Seemed to be a nice guy, you know. I didn't know him that well. But one day I was mowing, and that neighbor, which is the yard that he was mowing, is walking towards me. And I stopped my mower, and I thought maybe she just had a question. I said, hi, and she's like, hey, you know, got a question. How much would you charge to do our yard? And I said, sure, I'll be happy to check it out. I was like, didn't you have a guy mowing? I said, I've even spoken with him a few weeks back, and you know, he seems to do a good job. He would always leave a nice looking clean yard. She said, yeah, his mower died, and he didn't have another mower as a backup. And she said, can you believe it that he called me and asked me if I could go ahead and finance a new mower for him? I was like, what? She said, yes, that's what I said. I mean, I want to say she was pretty furious. I mean, she didn't expect it, and neither did I. I told her I've never heard such a thing. I've never heard a lawn guy asking the customer to pay for his mower just so he would continue to maintain her yard, or at least not pay completely, but at least finance it, and he would make the payments. She was very disturbed by that. She's like, I hope this is not something that a lot of lawn care guys do. I said, I've never heard of it, and I sure as heck would never ask that. I wouldn't ask my own father to do that, more or less a customer or family members. So anyway, that just goes to show about that whole dependability, ninjas. You want to be dependable. You don't want to be stranded, and you sure as heck don't want to call your customers and say, hey, I can't get to your yard, my mower is down. If a mower does go down for me, I have other mowers as a backup. Some of you ninjas might call me crazy and say, yeah, you got too many mowers for just a one crew, basically you and another guy, or maybe you and two other guys. No, I don't think that's crazy. I think that's smart, because I always want to have additional mowers sitting in the, you know, to the side. That way I can count on them and depend on them. And if one of these mowers goes down while one is in the shop, or something happens, and you never know, there could be a situation where two mowers go down. I have mowers that I can keep going. The whole point in this industry, ninjas, is you don't want nothing to prevent you from keep moving forward, keep making that money, keep taking care of your customers. If you ever allow something to stop you, you're done. Because in this industry, ninjas, I don't care, and this is how I view it, I don't care how good of a customers you have. I've told you even in the last video, or the video before last, I got clients that are my friends. I think it was in the last video. Pretty much 90% of them are all my friends. I consider them my friends. A lot of them I'm very, very close with. But you know what, ninjas? At the end of the day, I'm providing a service, and they're paying for it. And if I can't show up to provide that service, not only am I not going to get paid completely, period, they are forced to either A, do it themselves, which most people will not. They'll just go find somebody else, and that's B. B, they'll go hire somebody else. They'll call around and say, hey, can you come cut my yard? And even if they're super loyal to you, right? Loyalty works both ways. If you want them to be loyal to you, you have to be loyal to them. And if you can't stay loyal to them because your equipment falls apart and you don't have a backup plan, how can they be loyal to you? These people are willing to pay you, but you're not there. So it works both ways is all I'm saying. But it turned out good. Now keep in mind, Spartan does not have a striping kit. Unlike the bumblebees, a lot of you have asked me if these bumblebees have a striping kit. The answer is yes. They do have a rubber mat down at the bottom that's already comes pre-factory. You can actually adjust that. You can move it up or down if needed. Probably over time, as the rubber mat wears, you can unscrew the bolts and move it down a little. So they do have that, but the Spartan does not. You can actually purchase a striping kit for Spartan. I mean, I'm not, you know, it doesn't matter. But to me, the Spartan did a great job. It leaves a clean cut, and it actually looks really good for a mower that does not have a striping kit. So anyway, and not to mention the comfort. But it is a sit-down mower. A lot of you ninjas know I'm a stand-up guy. I like stand-on mowers, period. So I'm excited to see what Spartan has in the works. So just stay tuned. You good? All right, ninjas. Hope everyone's had a good one. Take care. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.
Saving green.
Peace.
Saving green, eat a tea.